welcome to today's Thank Card. It's Friday. Today we'll be making a card, and we will be making a Valentine's Day card from the Love You More stamp set. The image we'll be using is the one with the globe, and the sentiment underneath says, "You mean the world to me." We'll be using some new punches. This Chevron punch is from, it's been carried over to the seasonal Celebrate the Everyday catalogue, and then also this awesome tag topper punch. We'll be using the Modern Medley Designer Series paper. I want to use this polka dot, and we'll be using some very vanilla cardstock. Now I have already started, and I've got some clear acetate, and I have punched using the Chevron punch along here. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to use this as a stencil. So I have got some very vanilla card base. Here is the top, it's top folded, and here is the front, and that's only about 1/4 of an inch that I've taken off smaller. Okay, you will need your Versamark ink pad and the Melon Mambo embossing powder. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with stenciling on the left hand side, and I'm going to tape this down using washi tape. Okay, by washi taping that down, you're going to find that this is going to keep it nice and stable, and you're not going to be moving it when you use the Versamark. So I've got the Versamark here, and I'm going to press down quite heavily because I want to get ink, this Versamark ink, on that chevron. Alright, now I'm going to carefully lift this up. I'm going to place some scrap paper, and then I'm going to shake the embossing powder over and get good coverage. And then just brush away any excess with a brush. Okay, so once I've finished brushing off around, just whack that through with the heat gun. It's not very strong, the ink, you know, because it smudged it a little bit, but it's still the effect that I was after. So I'm just going to hit emboss that with the heat gun. Okay, so just setting this aside for the meantime. Now grabbing your tag topper punch, releasing it just using the release button, and I've got some vellum cardstock here that I have cut at 2 inches, and just punching that out. Okay, so I'm going to put this through and emboss it, dry emboss it through the Big Shot using the Decorative Dots Textured Impressions embossing folder. And this is like a random dot embossing. I'm just going to put that through the Big Shot. Alright, so I'm going to set this to a side now. I've got my Stays On Black ink plus my image from the Love You stamp set. Okay, so I'm going to actually cut this, fussy cut around, and I'm also going to fussy cut that as well using my paper snips. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the circle die from the Framelits collection, Circles collection, and I'm going to die cut a circle and put that through the Big Shot, and I'm going to use that as a backdrop. Okay, so the next circle up I've cut in Melon Mambo, and I'm going to adhere that on top. Now I'm going to be using my liquid Tombow mono adhesive. Adhere that down like that. Okay, so I'm going to cut a banner at the end of this tag. First I just gave it a little bit of a trim, and to make sure I don't want the banner to be too deep, but I want it so you can tell that it's a banner flag end. I've got the arrows textured embossing folder here, and I'm just going to put on the other side of this card front, emboss the right hand side. Okay, so that there now is embossed. I have got the tag, and I've got the image. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this down on the tag, then I'm going to put some dimensionals behind the tag. I'm going to put dimensionals on the actual tag itself and the back, so we don't see the adhesive through the vellum. That's the only thing with vellum, is sometimes it can be a bit hard and you can see the adhesive. That's going to stick down like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stick some twine through that. I have got here baker's twine, and I'm going to grab my Copic marker in black. I'm going to grab some scratch piece of paper, and I'm actually going to colour this twine black to use. So I'm just going to use my chisel tip. I'm just going to give it a good saturation. I won't need much, but this way I'm getting the coloured twine that I'm after, which I don't have any plain black twine, so I might as well just colour it myself. Alright, so that should be enough. I'll let that dry for a sec. Alright, so I'm just going to put that on the card. Alright. Just taking that off. If you're impatient, you can always whack it with a heat gun, but it doesn't take that long for the Copics to really settle in. Like that. Bringing my trimmer in, I'm going to cut the thinnest piece of cardstock, black cardstock, making sure it's straight, but I just want a really thin piece. And I'm going to place that just using Mono Tombow adhesive along the side, dimensionals off. Placing that in the centre of the card. Alright, so that's the Thank Card It's Friday. Something sweet, a little bit of pink, a little bit of black, and using some new product. Now you can pretty much create your own stencils with your punches, and I've had a bit of fun playing with that recently. So I'll be trying out all my punches and seeing how else I can stencil them as well using embossing powder, or maybe you just want to use your gelatos or any other spray inks or spritzers. So it's always fun to play around. So I hope you have fun. Thanks for watching Thank Card It's Friday. Don't forget to like my Facebook, show me the love, Joe Herbert, or visit my blog for project recipes. Alright, happy paper crafting. Bye!